There is a very nice sell setup here on the euro. We're going to put the entry here, we're going to put a stop here, and we're going for a break of this low. Once it breaks that low, you'll be watching it very carefully, because from there, the possibility is we can be going up back, because you can see all of this is a possible consolidation for upside. Right, so the trade is entry here, stop here, and here. For my traders, we're in our trading room. Good morning, traders. Welcome to the trading room. For my YouTube viewers, you will be seeing this as the weekly outlook, which means once a week, I tend to post out one recording for you. We do this 3, 4, 5 times a day. This is the second time for today. We're in the trading room. And when I said second time, I mean the second time I'm in the trading room. Some of the traders were there before I came in. Our trading room is open all the time. So if you accidentally stumble onto my video for the first time and you want to know what I do or who am I, well, you can see my name, Anil Mangal, there, and you probably know what we do. It's called wave analysis. What we do is I'm going to show you the direction of the trades that we expect them to go based on the precise patterns we're looking at. When we see a trade setup, we will identify the trade, we'll put the stop, we'll go for the targets. And if that trade should not go to its target, we're going to manage it, which is called trade management. The number one thing you're going to learn as a trader is trade management. The number one thing you're going to learn as a person or as a human being in life is how to manage your life, how to manage all processes in your life. Because if you do that, you probably will be a successful person. If you can't manage the processes in your life, well, expect what comes your way. And that's the same thing in trading. If you take a trade and it's not going, your job as a trader is to manage your way out of the trade. If the trade goes, hey, all you have to do is take profit. Right? That's the easy part. You click a trade, it goes, bingo, you take profit. You click a trade, it doesn't go. That is going to happen a number of times. I think more than 50% of your trades that you click might not go. And then comes the decision, what do you do? Stay with it, move your stop, stay with the stop where it is, manage the trade, close the trade, whatever you want to do with it. But that's the trade management part. But if you're just going to leave it that either it's going to get to your target or it's get to your stop, then you're setting yourself up for failure. You can ask any investor in the world. They don't do that stuff because they don't have stop losses. So when an investor put money into a stock or whatever they're buying, wherever they put their money, they don't have a stop loss into it. They're literally investing money into something. So the next possible thing that they can do is manage their investments. Should it not go their way? Should it not be behaving the way they expect? If it's the results that they think it's not what they want, then they manage their way out of it. If it is what they want, they just stay in it, or they can even put more into it. So the same goes for you. It doesn't matter what size your account is. That said, if you would like to have more of what we are going to do, what I'm going to show you today is I'm going to show you the direction that I think these trades are going to go. That could change anytime. Some of these trades are very short term. I'm in the 15 minutes. Some of them are going to be long-term views on the charts, right? Not trade setups, but simple long-term views on the charts that I'll show you. I'll show you all the majors. I will show you some of the cryptos and some of these stocks here that we have here. You can be assured that everything you see here are things we look at. Every single one of them. If it's on my list, we looked at it. Not all of them we do all the time and every time. But most of them, the ones at the top, is what we do every time for the 4 or 5 times I'm in the room. So minimum I'm in the room is 3 times. If there's news, 4. If there's more news, 5. Our traders are here almost more than that. So if you would like to join us, send me a Skype message. The Skype is when you go scroll along to the bottom of the video, you will see the very top of the description is my Skype. Click on it. If you don't have Skype, you can click, there's a link there, and it will send you to my Skype. If you have Skype, all you have to do is type you have to type Mangal457, MANGAL 457, send me a message, and I'll give you the details of how you can join us, either as a full member or as an installment payer. Installment payer means you'll be paying partially for the course. I think that's enough ad, right? So let's move on. By the way, I think I got a message from one trader, when will I be doing a 1 week free? That might take a while. I might even have to postpone it, because right now I'm in the process of packing up to move back to Moscow for a short period of time, and then we'll be coming back here to Dubai again. Life goes, right? Life gets in the way of working. So Here's what I can do. I would try my best to see if I can do that next week. If I can do it next week, not this week coming, the next week, I would let you know during the week. So during this week, I will let you know if I can give you 1 week free next week, which means I'll be live on YouTube free, and you can join, you can share the news, whatever. I will let you know by Wednesday. So stay tuned for a next video coming up, a very short video coming up Wednesday to inform you that, hey, I would probably do 1 week free. Please share this video if you like it. Leave your comment. Let me know what you think. If your comments are even negative but not derogatory, it will go through. If you're putting derogatory comments, then I'll just delete them. I'm of the age where I don't have the patience for ignorance. My temper, my my fuse for ignorance, willful ignorance, is very short. Life is too short to waste time behind those willful ignorance. So if you like what I do, great, share it and let more people watch the videos. If you don't like it, hey, I'm happy with my life, right? Basically, that's it. I'm not going to go into more of that. So don't waste your time if you don't like it. But if you like it and you think it's helping you, I do think it will help you. I'm pretty much sure it will help you, because we have traders who are making vast amounts of money having been in the group for 3-4 years, right? They didn't come in that way, but they're going to be leaving that way very, very successful. So the best way to know how this is going to help you, click wave analysis on YouTube, check all the videos that pop up from all the people who are talking about wave analysis. Every single one of them learned it from me. They will tell you how successful they are. They will tell you how I am no good as a trader. I'm no good as a mentor. They will tell you how they learn it by themselves. Well, I created it. So you can only learn it from the creator. That's it. That's all you need to know whether you should learn it from the person who created it. All right, that said, let's move on. So Euro trade setup, sell. Euro on the long term is upside. On the longer, shorter time, there's one more up. So let's start with it. I'm going to give you the Euro on the full thing. This is what we have. Right? We still don't have, and if you watch me for the last 3 weeks, we still haven't got any pattern in here. We're still trying to figure out what it's doing. We have an impulse up, we have an impulse down, we have an impulse up, we have an impulse down. We have another impulse up, but we broke the low. But that breaking the low did not create a pattern, because this is really sharp. So I think this one will tell us if we have a pattern. I'm aiming for the fact that it might come here, make a running flat, come back here, go back there, come back here, and then we will know what happens. Is this upside, or is this going to drop all the way to the bottom? Right? So it will take us a year or two to see this pattern complete itself on what it is. Here's the thing. For trading purpose, that is useless. You don't need it. So we go into 4 hours, and since it's going up, we're going to think what you want to know is when this is turning. It's not turning as yet. As far as I'm concerned, in the way we look at patterns, we're still consolidating for at least one more up. Will that one more up lead us all the way to the top, or would it just be a bigger running flat for one more down? Well, we're going to know that very soon. Now that I just told you it's going to be one more up, what is the trade for today? The trade for today is a sell, right? So you can put an entry order here for a sell. I'm expecting this to break out. So let me give you all the possibilities very quick. We're expecting it to come and break this low and then go back up. That's the ideal situation. Well, now it's not going to come in a straight line, right? You can see that this one, we sold this, we close it, we re-enter here. You'd say, well, if you think it's coming here, why would you close it and re-enter? We wanted it to break this low. Why would you close it and re-enter? Well, because it wasn't going the way we expected to go. And like I remind you, trade management will kick in. So if this one comes here, tag you, and start to do this, we're going to close that trade. We're going to re-enter here, and we're going to go for this. If it drops here that you have enough to put it to break even and wait for it to pull back and then drop, you stay with the trade. Now, that's in short. There are more details to that I haven't given you here. That's a sell setup. This will actually very soon tag you. Dollar index, same thing. We don't know where it's going to go as yet. Remember last week I said, watch it when it breaks that top. We were going up. When it breaks that top, it's going to come back down. I'm not sure it's actually going out as yet, because it's not coming down the way we wanted, and it's pulling back again. You're getting there. I think if this does make, it's probably going to come here. And if it drops from here, we'll be clear. As long as we clear this, we'll be good. As long as we reverse that impulse, we'll be good for the downside. Now, can it go back up again and make a more complex pattern? Absolutely. This would have to come here, come back here, make a flat like this, and then we'll be looking for upside. That would change how we look at the euro as well. As of now, I wouldn't do anything with this. We'll just wait. On the big picture, it looks more downside. You can see that this is the consolidation. Seems like we're consolidating here. This is going to drop. I wouldn't be surprised if they pull back like this and then go, making this a running flat. So that's an option we're looking at. We'll see. Remember what I was saying, that it probably would do this and then go back up. When we started to do this, it'd probably come here, do this, come tag here, and then go back up one more. Well, it seems like that one more is out of, probably not going to happen, but we will still have to expect it to happen. If this comes here, go back up there, come back here, and then go there. See, all of this will still be correction. So we'll wait and see. For trading purposes, we know what the trade is for the day, right? Let's go. Silver. So silver came back to the top and it came back to the bottom. That's likely upside. You're looking at this always as a possible flat for upside. Now, here's the thing. What if it stays here and consolidate much more? Well, then we'll be selling this. This would be a very sharp pullback, but then it will probably drop here and go back up there, make a running flat, and then just keep dropping. All right, that's a possibility. What we'll be looking for today is, at this point, a buy setup. I'm looking for a buy setup. So we were in the trading room this morning, and remember I said, if you sell this, you got to be careful now. Get it to positive, get it to break even, or take profit, whichever you decide to choose, because at any point in time, once you break that low, it could go. So what would be the trade? You'll be out of this trade already. Doesn't matter. So what you're looking for here now is a reversal. You want this to pull back like this. You want it to make a flag. And once we get that flag, we're going back to the top. So come here, make a flag like this, make a flag like that, make a flag like this, and then we're going up. So we'll be expecting this to come here. It should probably be as sharp as this or even much more sharper, because I will be looking at this as a flat for one more down. Not really taking off, but one more down. Now, should it take off? Remember, you're still in the buy. You don't have to close it. You move your stops. So I don't think this is the B wave. Really doesn't look so. And I don't think this is making anything with this here. One of these are fitting here. Possibly you can make an argument that, can we look at this as a running flat? I think that could be an argument. Why not look at this as a 1, 2, 3, 4 running flat, and this is the low? Yeah, you could go with that. In that case, this will totally take off. So let's look for the buy setup. We're looking for a buy setup here. Gold also broke the low, but gold, we're not looking for a buy setup. Even if gold is to go back up, I'll be only looking at it as a short-term upside to here, to either be in a channel or make a running flat for downside. One out of those two, you wouldn't tell the difference. So even if gold is going to go back up, it's only as a correction, not to make more upside. Whereas silver could make one more high, right? If you're looking at the same time frame, 1 hour on silver, we're expecting it to come and break this top. That up move should break this top. Remember, silver is going up all the time. So we can break that up and then come back. Gold in the same time frame is going up, but as a correction for downside. So come back to the 15 minutes. And we were also looking at this morning. If you sold it here, close the trade or move your stop to break even. So I'm not going to go to the details of what I tell you exactly to do, but if you were there, you would know exactly where you should have closed this trade. And it's doing exactly what we expect it to do, right? When this happened, I said, come back here, close the trade. If you did, it's going to come up here. You want this, you want the consolidation, and then you want that. Right? Now, buying here is not a good idea. Unless you got a lot of extra money to lose, then yes, that's a good idea. Right? What we're looking for, is it going to make another move to these stops? Is it making some kind of a more complex pattern? There is no need for that, because this by itself, and I think we discussed that in the room this morning, could be a correction. This could be a correction of its own. And you can make another correction here. All we'll be looking for now is a channel. I think we all know where channels go. Channels go upwards. So if it creates a channel here, what I would look for is not a total reversal. I don't think this is trying to reverse. What I would be looking for is a deeper correction before it drops. Now, I would go more most that it's making a complex running flat rather than a channel. Maybe if it makes a channel, the next thing I think is going to do is going to come down and then break out of the channel and drop. Because I'm not expecting this to go back up after we broke that up. We're expecting much more downside than this. So can it go down more? Yeah, remember last week I already showed what we think is going to go and where it could go. So it could go a lot more down. Come back to the 1 hour, wait for the sell setup. If it's going to give you a buy setup here, you would need a flag and it's a short-term trade. So we will need this to make a flag and a short-term trade. If we're going to stay in this range here, we can stay in this range as well. If we're staying in this range, it's probably going to come back down. So wait for trades. We don't have any trade set up here now, not in the 15, not in the 1 hour. A flag here is a buy. A drop to the bottom, you're making a bigger flat for downside. So should this come back here? I don't know. It comes back here. We'll probably make a bigger flat here for downside. And that's one option. Make a flag here, buy it. It's back to the top of this. Just this correction, not the whole move. So I'll leave this open, both sides possible. Euro, sell. Now this might tag you. Don't worry if it pulls back here one more time. That's not a big deal. You could go with an argument that this is making a running flat here. I would not bet on it, but if it's making a running flat, it'll probably come back here and drop. This is the impulse curve. Keep your stop above, a little above the impulse, and we'll see where that takes you. In the bigger picture, I think we're coming to retest this low. So the trade you'd be looking for should come here, not in a straight line, but pretty much come and retest this low. So this is an active sell. Active sell means there is an entry order for the trade, not waiting for a setup, but it doesn't mean that it tagged you or the trade is already active. Okay, this one you already missed it. The trade should have been from here or from here. You already missed that. It's coming here. And once it breaks this low, there's a chance it can go back up. Now, there's also a chance that it's going to break through and drop to this level before it goes. We're expecting that. If it goes back up, it's still in the correction. If it drops to the bottom here, we'd be buying it. Now, can we sell it to get there? Yeah. Now, since you missed both of those, you have to let it break this low, make a flag, and now we'll confirm that it's coming here rather than that this is making a flat. Because from this point, it can go back up as a flat and then come back here. But if it consolidates, we'll go with the sell, and this will be your trade. So there's actually no trade right now at the moment. Just leave this alone for now. Aussie, we're looking for a sell setup. You should be in the sell already from this morning in the trading room. I don't know if anybody took it. That was this one. Because we missed the early one here. If you took this trade, if you're still in it, give it some time to break this and then put it to positive. Right? Because I think this is upside. This is going to come here and then go up. So once it breaks the bottom, we'll be looking for a buy setup. We're still in this structure, and I think this is literally trying to go up, right? If it stays here, this consolidation become much bigger. So I would let it come break this low and then look for a buy setup. We'll take this off because that is gone. Look for a buy setup when it breaks the low. If it makes a flag when it breaks the low, we'll sell it. But if it breaks and it starts to reverse, we'll go with the buy. New Zealand. There is a sell also from this morning, the same sell as the Aussie to come and break this low. So you're just going to take this trade here to come and break this low and then get it to positive, get it to break even, take profit if you want, whichever your choice is. And I expect this to go back up. Remember, New Zealand, we're looking for bigger upside to come and tag this stop here before it goes back down. So I wouldn't be surprised if we finish this week, maybe even today, tomorrow, right? That means it can go quite a lot. So when you're here, watch it when it breaks this low. That means worst case is your break even. Because if this starts to go up, we will buy. Do we have any news event today to move the market? Let me see. Today, we have news this afternoon, 5:45 US news and 6 US news. Okay, we'll see if they use that moment to move the market. Right? If these consolidations finish, we could see the upside. We'll look for a buy setup. When it breaks the low, we'll see. Because I think it's a flat for upside. They came back pretty high. It's a flat for upside. Let it break the low. Then we start looking for the buy. CAD. Okay, I don't know if any one of you put the entry here when I left. It was just coming up and we were waiting for a flag. I think I would have waited for a bigger flag. But if you put it, you did excellent. Right? You're looking for this to go back up. And the pattern is, I think we did this explanation. I just leave this because I didn't want to change them. But the explanation is this. You see the charts. I already drew it up in the Asian session. So we had this slightly different last week when this was coming down. If you remember, we took this as the core correction, right? And then we said, okay, but if you were there Friday afternoon, I also said when this went back to the top, that be careful. They normally make a flat in here, go back to the top there, and then it could go slow like this. It could go fast. It's not relevant. And then we will decide what happens to these four pieces. Do they belong to the correction or do they belong to this move down? When it comes to the top here, we'll know that. We'll be looking for this. If it belongs to the move, if this belongs to the top, this will make some pullback, but not as deep, and then it will go down. If it belongs to the correction, we would most likely repeat this pattern that you have here. In terms of trading again, for if there's a trader out there who's watching this video and trying to figure out what the hell I mean by all of that, right? You don't know wave analysis, you don't know the rules, you haven't completed my course. It might confuse you. Like, what is all those lines and why you think it's going to happen? And come on, like, you're dreaming, the market is random, right? Then, okay, but here's what you need to do. You need to spend some time and watch the videos we do, right? Because what we're looking for when we do all of that is we're looking for patterns that repeat themselves. Now, argument about whether these patterns exist and whether they repeat themselves is a long gone argument. I'm not even going to get in an argument with anybody on that, because that's already proven. If you haven't seen it, well, you're bad luck. Right? That argument is gone, way gone. That's 10 years ago. You probably should have had that argument with me. Now, the only thing is, how do we take advantage of that? Not whether it exists or whether it works, but how do you take advantage of that and become a super trader? Right? That's the only argument I can get in now. And that is where it varies for every person individually. Right? We have traders who can mint money using that, and traders who are still struggling to understand how to use it. And that's okay. That's part of the development of every trader, right? So the simplest and the easiest and the most reliable way that we will give you is to wait for the setups to confirm themselves. Now, aggressive traders could get much more aggressive. Like I said, an aggressive trader might have taken this trade already. Whereas if you're not an aggressive trader, you're now learning, what you would want to do is you'd want to wait for this to start making a flag. See these flags? Very reliable. And I showed you one in New Zealand, and I showed you a whole lot of them, right? Make this flag and then go for this straight to the top there. It's much more reliable. It gives you more time to think. You don't have to be quick at making decisions. You can understand, and you've seen them, right? Look at the flags. I don't need to go back and show you, right? These were not things that were done in hindsight. These were doing in the future. Right? We don't do anything in the back and then said, come see how good we are. We come and we do them in the future. So what you'll be looking for is that one like this, and then you go for this trade. Now, if you're an aggressive trader, you could come here and actually go into 5 minutes and take that, because we looked at it this morning. I was like, any flag here, take the trade. Now, put this here, wait for a flag, take the trade. I think it's upside. So we'll be looking for a buy setup. It's already there. Swiss, we took the trade. I don't know how many of the traders took the trade. Anybody was in the room from this morning that took this trade? None of you guys were in the Asian session. Okay, the people from the Asian session did not come. I think just a few of them. Stas and Johan was here. They already gone, because it's the same thing we're repeating, actually, from this morning, right? So that's a buy. Now, what way does that buy take you? That buy takes you to break this top. Just to go break that top, because when you break that top, I expect this to drop more. The depth of this pullback means we're looking for a flat. So if you're going to buy the CAD, you'll also watch to see whether the CAD is going to repeat that. Not necessarily the CAD would do what the Swiss is doing, but that's one possibility. Right? So you're looking for this trade to the upside. I think we put this as a running flat, but that's still an open thing. We were looking for the running flat last week, that it's going to come this much and then drop. So I'll take this off because we took off the first one. I think we can go with that as a running flat and see where that takes us. So on the big picture of things, this is mostly upside, right? Remember, we thought this one would go, but it's coming down. So all we are expecting here is a much bigger consolidation. Right, this could drop and break this low, which means this is going to come down some more. This would probably come down some more when it makes that flat. When that flat is complete, it's going to come some more, maybe go back here, come back here, and then go. I don't think it's going to take off right now, right? Because this one is really sharp. And I don't think we'll go with this as an expanding flat, although that option is open. So once this drop, once this come back, this trade is a very short trade from the Asian session this morning, the up trade. Once it gets here, we'll be looking for a sell setup. So this buy would change into a sell very soon, although the buy is active right now. So I'm not sure what should I put here. Should I put we have a buy setup going on, or should I put look for a sell setup? Because by the time my YouTube viewers take a look at this, we'll be looking for the sell setup, not the buy. I don't know how high this is going to go, but I don't think we're coming back to the top. Yen. Okay, yen, we're looking for a buy setup. We're making an assumption that this is a contracting flat. I'm not sure it is. But if it is a contracting flat, then great, we're looking for a buy setup. That buy would be okay, because if it's not a contracting flat, this is going to come back here. So it will not tag you. It will only tag you if that is a contracting flat, and we do that. which means you get 1, 2, 3, and this one takes off. That's the only way you get tagged. So you don't have to be scared to put on that entry order. It will only be valid if the pattern proves itself. If the pattern doesn't prove itself, it's come to the bottom. We don't have a sell setup. There is no sell setup in it. So we'll just have to wait in that trade. Euro New Zealand, I think this one is pretty easy. You got a sharp move, then you get this one. I think I'll go with a running flat there, right? So there's a good chance it's going to come here, go there, come back here, and then go. We're kind of in this, after this consolidation, we're making another one here. So in general, you'll be in one big sideways here before you go down. So the trading range in which we're trading is this range. We're trading within this range here. Once it comes to the top there, we can see if it comes right back down. I don't think this will break out. It's an incomplete pattern, so I don't think it's going to break out. If you don't want to trade in that, just leave it until it's finished, and then you start looking for the sell setup. Wait for it to come back here. Come back here, and then upside. The reason we say come back here is because I'm expecting them to come down more into this pattern, right? This is what we're looking at. We're looking at this whole thing. We had this big correction here. We've got this move down. We've got this move up. I'm expecting we've got another. This is more of a correction here, right? This is the top. I'm expecting this to happen, come here, and then go back up. So let's see. We have these are here from a while, and they'll stay here. If you follow me all the time, you would see that these arrows are not changing as yet because there's no structural change. I think this is still a big consolidation for downside. Pretty much like this one. See, we had this flat, and then we made another flat, but then it dropped. So you have this flat, you're making another flat. This one is not going, this one was going up, right? So that's downside. This is coming down. So when it comes here and it comes here, probably even break the top and then come back. Come to the 15 minutes. Look for a sell setup. I don't think it's going to break out. So we look for a sell setup. EuroCAD. Okay, the question, some traders are in this buy from this morning also. That is this buy here. If you took that buy, watch it when it comes here because it can still come back down. I think this is the flat. We're looking at it that possible, but then you have this piece in it, which doesn't make sense. So if you put all of this as the flat, then we end it here and we're going up. But if not, it could come here, come back down here, probably stay here for a while and then go. Could it be also that they're making a move for downside? Let's put it like this. Could it be they're making a running flat for downside? Since the bigger picture we're looking for is downside, we're expecting this to come back here, right? As a 1, 2, 3, and then go back up. Right? Because this whole thing is not, it's not very clear. It's not making a lot of sense. This will eventually become the core correction when that is finished because you have more sideways here than you have in this one. This will become more like a 1, 2, 3. I don't see a contracting flat in here, but we'll figure that out when we come to it. So right now, this is just a big consolidation, and the likelihood is more downside. So for the trade of the day, you probably will. We don't have anything. Let's see if it starts coming down from there. We'll sell it. If it breaks out, then we'll go for the buy. If you're not in the buy already. Euros. One more up and then down. I think this, we're looking for this sharp move up, and it's already happening. So last week, we thought this one would go when we bought it. Close the trade. It's breaking out now. Wait for a flag buy. You have one more move up. The move you're looking for is this one, right? So this thing is just going to go up one more. Come to about the top here. Break this top. All it needs to do is break this top and then drop. I think you can see that flat pretty easy. Put it like this. So all this needs to do is if you get a flag here, we can go for this trade here. That's all you will need. One trade to the upside. And then this is going to come right back here. So if you don't get the buy, we'll try to get the sell. Let's say it goes without any flag. Once it breaks the top, we're looking for the sell setup. So I can't put this trade on either as a buy or a sell because right now we're looking for a buy that is short term. And we'll get a sell later on. So if it makes a flag here, we can go for this trade. Put an entry here, put a stop somewhere here, and go for this trade here. And then we'll be looking for the sell setup. If it goes immediately, then we'll be looking for the sell. Okay, if all of these we will do in the trading room later on. For my YouTube traders, I don't want to make this video too long. It's really long, and traders only watch 1 or 2. People will watch a euro, they'll watch the crypto, or they'll watch 1 or 2 of the thing, gold or silver, and that's all. End up getting a very short view ratings on it. So you get like 5 minutes view of a 1 hour, 1.5 hour video. It doesn't make sense. So we make a half-hour video. If it gets 5 minutes view, that's okay. So that said, if you would like to have all of this, join us. I'm going to do some of these, and then I'll do some cryptos. Natural gas. This was a sell, and then we closed it. We have a sell here, and it made a very deep pullback. Right? So what we're going to do is take this off. I still think it's a sell setup. We're just making a bigger flat. Right? We don't have any buy setup as yet. So that's the first impulse. So put it this way, it was dropping, and this is the first impulse to the upside. What you want to see is what happens next. If this comes back down all the way to the bottom here, let it go back up, make a flat, and then we sell. We absolutely sell. See this here? When it was going up, it pulled back, it go to the top, come back here, see that flat? What did we do? We buy it. So we'll do it, look for exactly the same thing here. But what happens if instead of coming down, it just makes a flag here? Well, then we'll buy this to go back to this top. Come back here, and then it's a buy. So it's a buy if you make a flag. If it comes to the bottom, we'll wait, and then we'll go for the sell. US oil. Sorry, guys. US oil, that was the sell. This was the sell. Both sells are good. If you took the first sell, I think you closed it. If you didn't close it in the first pullback, that's great. If you're in this one and it's not going anywhere, here's what you need to do. I think we closed this here when we put the entry order here. If you, 1 second, guys, my voice. If you actually took out this one because of the depth of this pullback, remember this pullback is the depth of this entire thing. So it's a very small pullback. If you didn't close it, great. If you close it, no problem. Wait for this to make a flag. So I'll take both of these out now. And for the sell setup, wait for this to make a flag here. It's actually making a flag here right now. I let it make a flag here, and then we'll sell this flag. Where do we think this is going to go? Well, let's go back and see what it looks like. Structurally, I think we can come and break this low. You can see from the forecast we had initially when we were at the top there is that it's going to come break the low. And with a huge flat like that, I think it's perfect. Can it go back up, make a much more bigger flat? I don't think so. This is a huge expanding flat, and I think that's more than enough. If it should go back up one more, then we'll have a much more complex pattern, right? Let's say this is the stop here, and then go back up. We'll start with this as the core correction. We'll get this down. We'll get this here, and then we drop again. It's just a much more complex expanding flat. I don't think that's going to happen. So if we get this, we can start selling. I think we could go to 1, 2, 3, and that would be enough. US30. That sell was good. This sell, we closed it here, put an entry for a sell. It went back, no problem. Take that off. To add 2 very good sells, 1 didn't tag. Take this off. Here's the question. We wanted it to come here and then go back up. It's a running flat, but we were thinking it's going to do that. So let me take this here now and put it aside. And take this and put it aside. Can we look at this as the running flat? What if it doesn't go that much? Can we look at this as a running flat? I think that's okay. No questions asked. That could be a running flat. Now, that doesn't mean that it's not going to go there, because you see the size of these flats. Look at this one. See? Came here, went there, came here, and go. So if this comes back to the bottom here, all you have to do is let it go back there, and then we're selling this to come back to this low and then upside. Right? If it stays here and make a flag, all you need is a small flag like this. It makes a flag here. We're buying this for the breakout. So which side? It can go both sides. Put it in the blue because that means we're looking for both sides. S&P 500. Okay, that sell we didn't take. It went up to the top. It's making a very deep pullback. This one had a lot of very deep pullback. See this one, how it went down? A lot of deep pullback, but it came down. If we're going to look for a sell, let's say they're repeating that same thing. Wait for it to come down, make a flag, and then start selling, assuming that this is making this. So every sell you take, you'll get the positive, or you'll even take profit on the break of the low. Right? If it's going up one more, could this be that this was a flat for one more up? This here was a correction for one more up. Well, then wait for a flag here and buy it. Only one more up, right? Because eventually you're going to get this. So that would be the trade. Go back to the 1 hour now. Wait for a flag for that. Or wait for this to drop, make a flag, and then we're assuming it's coming back to the low. Nasdaq could be exactly the same thing, right? We're in this one, and I don't think we've gone all the way. We're in this one, and this has a huge flat here. This came down as a kind of a leading diagonal and made a huge flat drop. You could repeat the same process here. So it could still come down more, but it's going to make deep pullbacks. Wait for flags to sell, wait for flags to buy. Both sides are open. RTY, this was a buy. The first pullback, not a problem. Go back up really sharp, stay with the trade, take profit now, look for another buy setup. I think it could make another sharp pullback. I wouldn't put this as an expanding flat as yet. It's possible, but I wouldn't do that. Let's wait. Let's keep this as it is. This is a good flag. Wait to see if it makes a flag here, or if they give another sharp pullback. Another sharp pullback, we're still buying. I still think we're coming to break this top. So any flag or sharp pullback, look for buy setups. You can literally just look for buy setups here. Okay, this is coming down. It broke out, but it's coming down still. Right, this kind of broke out of this structure, but it still looks downside. See, this still looks downside here. Any flag here, sell. It's just a deeper correction within the downside. Any flag sell. If it stays, it has to stay here as a flat, not a flag anymore because of this one. If it comes a little more here and go back up to the top and do this, then we will buy. But most likely, if you get a small flag here, you're selling. So look for flag to sell. Let's put it that way. Tesla. So all these arrows, nothing changed from them, right? Except that this one got a little more. Remember when it went down a little more, and then it went up? Well, those who didn't think it was going to go up, their fault. And then when it went up, that's this move. We're still expecting it to make one more down because I was looking at 1, 2, 3 here as the thing. Go there, make this one down. So we're right now making this flat. Think of this as that flat. And then this should drop one more here before it goes. Now, here's what I want you to do. If you're seeing this for the first, I want you to go back to about 6 or 7 webinars back and look at the pattern we predicted and how we traded it, by the way. It will help you understand how wave analysis works and how trade management works. So this one, we actually had this, but it's still consolidating. It's still a sell, right? This is still a sell setup. It might get a bigger flat, but not necessary. If this drop, go for it. If it makes a bigger flat here, we'll decide where we take the sell from. But if this sell happens, it breaks this low, take profit or move your stop, and then we'll be looking for a buy setup. So this is still a sell setup. Okay, Bitcoin. Bitcoin is still in this correction, and let me put it like this. We're still in this huge correction here. Put it like this now because this one is kind of consolidating. It's not dropping, right? Normally you see this drop, this come here, made a small consolidation drop. When they're consolidating so much at the top, but not dropping, the chances are they might go back up one more. So we had a buy entry here when this was coming down, assuming that it would break this low here like this, and then it could have taken off. So that buy entry was for that purpose. If it didn't break the low, then you need to take off the buy entry. It didn't tag you, you need to take it off. Now we're going to relook at this whole pattern. This is still a 1, 2, 3, but then it came down as another 1, 2, 3. See, it made another 1, 2, 3 here. So we've got another flat here too. So you got a flat here and a flat here, and this is making 1, 2, 3, which is another flat here. So if you put all of that together, you actually have just one huge correction. Put it like this. That's just a huge correction, which means I wouldn't be surprised if this goes a little more like that, but then it has to drop because this is going to be 1, 2, 3, right? Now, what happens when we break this low? Well, that's still a big question because this is still a big flat. This could still be 1, 2, 3 and go back up. You would look for buy setups here. But from here, look for sell setups and then move your stops with the sell. So if it drops to the bottom, and I don't see any reason why it can't drop to the bottom. I don't see any reason why this can't just come here. And then instead of breaking out, come and drop to the bottom here before it goes, right? So we're going to put two options. One is it just comes back here and then go up from this point. We will wait to see what setups we have to confirm that. If that happens, we'll buy. And this would be all the correction. All the correction is going to be 1, 2, 3. Can it be 4 and 5? Yes, possible. Right, which means WX, Y, X, Z as they put it. But from here, since most of the consolidation is at the top there, the chances are it will just come here and go up, and all the correction would be that. Now that you know that, you just have to wait for the setups to decide which direction you want to go. Now, let's say you think this is going to totally take off. put an entry order here and go and relax. You don't have to worry about that, right? Should this totally take off all the way to the top, you'll be in the trade. Should it come back to the bottom here, look for a buy from this point. Look for a buy from this point here. If you, instead of a buy, you get a sell setup, then you just continue selling it all the way to the bottom. From here now, we would look for the buy setup because this is still upside, right? This correction still looks upside as of now, depending on how, if and how this drop, whether that will change. But as of now, structurally, it's still upside. ETH. Okay, this broke out, we'll break this top, and then from here, I expect it to go down back. So this is making a flag here, come here, go back there, come there, do this, break the top, and then come down back. I think this is the correction, so we're expecting it to break the top. Put it on a daily. Once we break that top, I still think it's downside. I don't see them breaking this top. It can break the top. Nothing is wrong with breaking that top, which means this can go here, come out of the structure, and then come back like this for a running flat. Absolutely nothing is wrong with that. But the likelihood is they might just break this top and then come here before they go. So can we retest this low again around the 500? Yeah, sure, why not? Don't be surprised. That would be very normal based on what we have here. So let's see what happens there. 1 hour, it's a buy setup if you're looking for it. On the shorter term, it's a sell. So this right now is more of a sell setup to come here, but then we'll have to go back up, come back down, and then go, completing these two flats. 1, 2, 3, and then go. So if you can trade in this smaller range, maybe that's all we get this week, trading in this smaller range. Sure, go ahead, make your trades. XRP. Okay, this is not coming down. That's for sure. This is looking like a channel, a squeeze to go back up. And that is a little strange. Because if this comes here and then go there and then come back here, it will have to go back up, and now you will be left with this flat. Which means you come back down, you go back up, you come back down, you'll be left with this flat. That means you go back up and then probably drop from here, making a huge flat. It's not looking upside. Right? Even if all of that happens, it's still not looking upside. It's looking like a huge consolidation here for downside, one more down. So if that happens, this whole thing here will become a huge consolidation. Right? This is going to go there, come here, go back there, come back here, go back there, come back here, make a huge flat, come one more, and then go. It's, if you can trade it short term, because it's not going to go anywhere anytime soon. Eddie, I'll do just a few more and then we'll call it off. So this is coming down. I think this is clear. We're likely going to break this low. Right, this here is going to, make the flats drop, 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 come here, break this low, and then go back up. We're looking at a 1, 2, 3, and then downside. So look for sell setups in here. I'm going to do these last two because a lot of my traders trade them. And you can see what we're looking for. Now, here's the thing. Do we go with this as the running flat, as the contracting flat? If that's a contracting flat, you finish 1, 2, 3. You're making this one. That means it's going to come here, then go back up and drop. Or you look at this as the running flat, right? Sorry, you look at this as the running flat. And that means this goes up one more, then come back down, then go back up, then drop. Which is it? Well, here's the thing. You don't need to know which one. You need to know that those two possibilities exist. And if you know that, then you can decide, show me which of those two possibilities are developing. Now, if you ask me personally, I would go with this as a flat. Contracting flat. I don't like them, but contracting flats do exist. And this one is doing this. So there's a good chance we'll come lower here. We'll do this and then go back up. But if it goes here and make a flat, buy it to the top, assuming that this has nothing to do with it, and this is the one you're making, and this one is going to come here and then go back down. So if you get a setup for the buy, you take it, but if you don't, then it's a sell setup. Most likely we're looking at a sell setup. And the last one. Oh, this is easy. This one is going to go back one more. You can see it already. And then we'll look for the downside. And this is one more up. Break the top again and then come down. We're likely going to break that top again. You can put it like this, you can put it like this, it doesn't make a difference. All right, the question is whether we put all of this in one. Looking back hindsight, that is a possibility. You look back at this one. This is a sharp one. We don't have anything for it. We'll have to figure out which one goes with it. Maybe we change this back again. Put this back the way it was. And use this one with it. You could use this one here. All right, this is an up move. 1, 2, 3, go up. 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3 down, and then go. Yeah, that possibility exists. So this one is going down slowly, but I think there's a good chance we'll retest the top. So what's the trade? Wait for it to make a flag, wait for it to break out, wait for it to make a flag here, and then you can go with that trade there. Put an entry here, go for it. Or if it comes down and make a flag here, you sell it just to break the low. Because if they're going to do this all the way to the bottom, you'll get some sells eventually. I think the buy is very likely for them to go back to that top and then drop. Which is break out of here, go there, and then come down back. Big picture is still downside, and this one is going too slow to actually be the downside. See? That is way too slow. That's just like one more up here, and then drop. Here is an example of what this looks. See this move here? See the same move here? Except it's smaller. This was the down move. This is the down move. So you're looking at the same thing, but a smaller version of it. This one even came all the way to the top and then drop. So this doesn't have to go there because this is a bigger impulse. It could just come here and then start dropping. Okay, I think that also helps you understand how wave analysis works. So Aussie is coming down some more. New Zealand is coming down some more. Those are trades we are actually in, right? Aussie and New Zealand sell. Aussie, it has a buy because we're waiting for it to just finish. New Zealand is going to come down. These are very small trades under 15 minutes for our Asian session this morning. You want this to just break this low, get it to positive, and then we'll see what happens. If it goes lower, we stay with the trade. If it turns, we close the trade and we look for the buy setup. So, okay, to all my YouTube traders, trade with care. Like I said, wait Wednesday. I'll let you guys know if next week we can do the 1 week live, which means in London session and New York session will be live for you. Thank you very much. Trade with care. See you next week. Bye.